Are you in a place right now to where you're feeling like, ugh, why am I just settling? Maybe in this relationship, why am I just settling in this body and with these, health conditions or aches and pains? Why am I settling doing this job or this career, or this work that really is just, sucking the life out of you? So if that at all describes you, I just want you to know that it's not as simple of an answer as you might be thinking it is. It's not that you are lazy. It's not that you are, damaged goods, flawed, and that you're the issue, okay? And that this is just your destiny. It's not true. A lot of why we show up the way we show up in adulthood, like why we choose to have certain relations with certain people and dynamics, why we do what we do for a living, or why we, how we take care of ourselves or lack thereof, right? Our habits and our behaviors. It's these things are learned from childhood. Okay. Because here's the thing, and I really want to dive into this as best as I can today to where it hopefully makes sense to you and you have like a good aha and breakthrough. A lot of who you are today is just, conditioning, programming, just experiences from your past, from who raised you to what your environment was like, and just, the life experience you had from childhood. And if they weren't good, if there was a lot of adversity, if there was a lot of dysfunction, if there was a lot of abandonment, betrayal of trust, it's not like it just goes away in adulthood. No. If you haven't processed the pain, the abandonment, the neglect, the dysfunction, it's just going to keep following you, as time goes on. So, and that's why you're watching this. Say you're like, all right, enough is enough. Like I need a change. Okay. So that I want to help you, just give you some insight on one, why you feel the way you feel, why you do how you do, right? What your habits are, what your beliefs are, why you choose to be friends with somebody or in a relationship with somebody. I want to help you connect the dots on this isn't something that just happens. It's because you have a certain beliefs and concepts of yourself of maybe not worthy, not good enough. This is as good as it's going to get. And you're just settling. Okay. So I want to help you to not settle and to invite you, like really be bold and brave and invite you to really start doing some of this inner work that you'll need to do to really start living a life that feels more in alignment with who you truly are deep down, and not just this scared, fearful part of you that is just living in this programming and conditioning of who people told you that you are. Okay. Because it's just not true. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. If you're ready to get into this and make some changes, comment below. I am ready. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Your upbringing, 9.9 out of 10, has everything to do with the identity that you have today if you haven't done the deep work to really heal from your past, to really acknowledge, accept, have compassion, and just do the work to start peeling back the layers of getting your worth and your confidence back. And a lot of times people will have to go to therapy for this. They'll have to go to a psychologist for this, which I think, depends on the levels of the severity of the adversity and the trauma. Obviously, I'm going to be a big proponent of coaching, because coaching, you're not just sitting in the past. You're also like, okay, what's next? How do we move forward? So that has worked well for me. And I'm just a big fan of that. I'm going to give you some things, share with you some things that I coach my clients on to really get clear about why they believe and do and live and are in situations that they're in right now today. One of the very first, so this is number one of the very first things, and I think I'm just going to cover just this one thing because this is, kind of a lot. But one of the very first things that I do with the new client is we go over their story timeline. We look at their story from, birth to today, because you can easily connect dots on, today, let's say you're in a relationship to where you're like this, this person, like they don't respect me. They don't love me. Their behavior shows it, yet I'm still there with them. Why? Right? Or, why you are such a huge people pleaser and you neglect, what you need to do for yourself because you want to make sure that you don't let someone else down. Like all of these connect back to childhood upbringing. All right. So here's what I want you to think about. And you can just do the story timeline. We can just talk it out here. You can imagine this. I mean, this is an actual pen to paper exercise that we work on for about 4 weeks together to really help them, become aware of belief patterns and concepts, and then to actually do the work to process and really just start letting it go. But today I just want to talk to you about the foundation basic of self-awareness, awareness of why you feel and do and just show up the way you do today. So your story timeline, think about this, right? From when you're younger, think about these significant life events. And I'll share some of just my personal story here to, just to give as an example. If let's say you're somebody who struggles with really just having a healthy relationship, okay? Think about, okay, well, what was mom and dad's relationship like growing up? Okay, so I know for me, in my childhood, mom and dad relationship growing up wasn't good at all. Substance abuse, out of jail, in and out of rehab. Dad never showed up. We would wait by the window. He never came. When he was with us, he would give us money to go to the arcade. And then he was, talking to women at the bar, at this restaurant, like way across from the arcade. So imagine if you are 6, 7, 8, okay, and that was just the dynamic of, the household, okay, growing up, you are going to start believing that you're not enough. You are just like in the way, this prominent male figure, like dad doesn't love me. He doesn't want to spend time with me. I'm just not that important. So you are going to start believing this about yourself, that you are not good enough. Men don't want to spend time with you, or they do, it's because they want something from you. So you're going to give something of yourself, whether it's your body or maybe money, whatever you could possibly give or do to get that love and attention and to make that person stay, right? Because that need, that fundamental basic need was never met in childhood. So, and that I'm just giving you an example, like high level overview here. If you can relate to that in some way, shape, or form, I'm not saying it has to be that exact way, right? How it was like with, dad and mom, but, imagine, okay? Like, I mean, I struggled, like, that's why I became sexually active very young. That's why I, would pay guys I dated. I remember this in my 20s. I would pay their bills before my own because I just didn't want them to leave. I wanted to be wanted. I wanted them to stay. I wanted to prove my worth. I wanted to prove that I was enough. I wanted to prove that I was lovable. So all of this, just betraying myself, neglecting myself and my body, doing things that I wasn't ready to do in, adulthood, really in my 20s. It had everything to do with my past and what that childhood upbringing was like with dad. Okay. I mean, even like with mom not really being there and just like dysfunction between the sibling dynamic we were always fighting. I even had trouble really being my true self, showing it in women friendship because I just didn't want, like I wanted them to like me. So this was a belief and a behavior, a habit, a way of being, let's just call it self-betrayal, self-abandonment for years until I started doing the inner work. Again, the route I took was coaching with my life coach to really, connect the dots and get the awareness of, oh, okay, that's why I keep attracting toxic relationship after toxic relationship. Oh, that's why I don't really have any true girlfriends because I'm not being myself and I don't think I'm worthy of healthy friendship. My coach helped me to realize that just through that story timeline exercise And, just real quick, you can do this for every little thing, maybe like for health, for like career, or for trying something new. Like you can do this timeline for every little area in your life. But right now we're just talking about relationship, and you can connect the dots, okay, from adulthood where you're struggling, and you can connect it all the way back to childhood, okay, and where that rooted from. So for me, the seed was basically mom and dad. They weren't good parents. Drug and alcohol abuse. Didn't care about their kids. Didn't really want anything, like had the responsibility to let them show up and just meet their basic needs. So I never knew that, okay, basically, until I started reading books, until things got bad enough, until I was, what was I, 28? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, another failed relationship. I'm tired of this shit. Everyone is like in a good relationship. A lot of them are getting married. Like, I don't want to be entering my 30s and still in this dysfunction. Like, I need some help. So basically, I was at a point to where I'm like, all right, enough is enough. I was also just burned out from work because, again, people pleasing, betraying myself, overworking. I just got to a point to where I'm like, okay, this is like basically like a rock bottom. And I'm like, I need some help. And then I, just started reading books on, self-worth and confidence, and podcasts really became popular at that time, about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. And then I discovered, my life coach, my guide, who would, over the next year, would take me through this journey of the very first thing, what I'm sharing with you here right now, is getting this self-awareness and connecting dots of, why do I believe what I believe about relationship, and why do I believe that I'm not worthy or good enough? Why? Where does this come from? And this was one of the first exercises she did with me. And we didn't just do it for an hour in a coaching call. This is something that we peeled back more and more and more, like layers of like we just peeled every single week for about 4 or 5 weeks, until I finally had a breakthrough of, oh, I get to decide that I no longer want to believe that I'm not good enough, that I know that I get to decide that, okay, no, I am actually worth more and worthy and deserve respect, love, right? So I had to get that awareness, and I got that from just understanding why I believed, like why I felt the way I felt, and why I allowed people to treat me the way they treated me. I had to get that awareness of, why is that? Like, I just wanted an answer. And that was one of the exercises. She just took me through a timeline of where this rooted from, helped me to connect the dots, which, closed the loop, right? Got my question answered in my brain. And then we just started doing the inner work, like the healing work and the processing, just creating new concepts, all that stuff over that, that year in her coaching program that we did this. But I just want to share this fundamental step with you. Is number one, it's really the awareness of, like, getting curious and wanting the awareness of, why am I like this? Why am I settling for this? Why am I allowing this person to treat me this way? Why am I treating myself this way? Why do I feel this way about myself? Where does it root from? Where did you learn it? Where was the, where did you experience this? A lot of times it has to do with your past. Okay. That's just one example. Okay. So the title of this video is "The Childhood Patterns Still Affecting You at 40 Plus." I mean, so many, so many things. And we're just doing one specific example today with relationship. But you can do this story awareness timeline exercise with any area of your life, fill in the blank, right? With, why you neglect your body, why you people please to the detriment of what your priorities are and responsibilities are, to where you like abandoned those things to show up for this person. Like, you can do this for everything. Start with, where did you learn it? Where did you learn it? Who was the example? What was the experience from childhood? Okay. I'm going to stop there because I don't want this to be a half-hour long video, but was this helpful for you today? Let me know in the comments, please. Like, what's popping up for you? Share with me below in the comments if you feel comfortable in doing so. This is the work I do in my coaching program, A Confident Woman Unleashed. If you're interested in learning more about working with me privately, if you're at that point in your life right now to where you're like, all right, I really want to like have some major breakthroughs and really start showing up and, living life in that's in alignment with your values and really just show up as your true self. This is the work I do with my clients. Learn more on how to work with me in the description below. There's a link there to my site, and you can book in a call. We can have a chat if you're ready to do so. And if not, I mean, nonetheless, was this helpful today? Did this give you like a next step on how to just get some awareness and to really just start, you know, potentially breaking this toxic relationship pattern or these other patterns in your life that are like, no longer working for you in adulthood. Okay. Let me know. This video thumbs up if it was helpful. Definitely subscribe if you want to keep hearing from me every single week. And I'll leave you with that today. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. And I'll see you in another video next week. Bye for now.